Mr. Murali, it's an absolute pleasure to have you today on Let's Talk Business series by RealtyNXT. And it's going to be an interesting podcast because you have had a remarkable journey. And I'm very excited to know about your story as well, the work you have done in Shriram properties.
Thank you. Let me congratulate RealtyNXT. In the last 5 years, the contribution what RealtyNXT has been making in shaping up the industry. As you know that real estate industry has gone through serious change in the last 10 years. RealtyNXT as an institution, the role they have played in shaping up the industry is extremely commendable. Congratulations and best wishes for you guys to continue this journey for the next 20 years.
Thank you so much. So, sir, let's start with your root. You grew up in Tamil Nadu, and I'm sure those early experiences must have shaped your vision and leadership style of today. So, will you share with our viewers how your childhood was and how it has created you to become the leader as you are today?
I was born in a very small town called Pudukkottai. It's not even tier 2, must be tier 3 town. It's a very small town and everyone will know each other. I'm from a family of teachers. Everyone in my family have been teachers except my uncle went to serve the army. But all others are teachers. It was a joint family. 12 of us grew together. I'm born with 3 sisters. My father, both father and mother, as I said, family of teachers. Not only father and mother, my entire siblings of my father, siblings of my mother, all of them are teachers. So my father, though he has been a teacher, he was a teacher, he always looked at what is that we can do to the community, society at large. How every small bit of our action can create a meaningful impact to the society. He just did not conduct himself as an ordinary teacher. He went on to do quite a lot of social service, including, he's a Tamil Pandit, called a Tamil poet. He went on to establish very famous literary forum called Kamban Kalagam. He went on to create greatest institution for propagating Tamil and Ramayana in Tamil. So like Valmiki Ramayana, how popular it is, equally popular is Kamba Ramayana. So he went on to settle the institute and expanded in a big way. Plus he also took various social initiatives, including working on supporting the local police for getting law and order maintained. So though he was a teacher, he received Presidential Medal and Chief Minister's Medal, not once, thrice, for his social work, for his contribution to the society. Apart from, he also received Best Teachers Award. Always, we never had the very so-called physical touch of a father because he has been all the time out in the society, how to serve the community. We call in modern days a part-time father. He was not even a part-time father. I don't think he even knew which class we were studying, which college we were studying and all that. But the impact what he created emotionally, psychologically, in mind, the purpose of life, just not for living for yourself. The purpose of life is to serve the community at large. How one can lead a very purposeful life. I think that's the biggest learning for me from my father. That has gone very strong into my whole being of what I am. The next one is my mother is exactly opposite. Extremely loving. All the time was available for me. So she always said, your father has never taken responsibility for the family. She trusted a lot of responsibility in me in taking care of the families. Born with 3 sisters. So she always said, you are responsible for taking care of, though I'm the third. But she said, you have to take responsibility not only to your sisters, our larger family, plus larger society like your father is doing. But she trusted the responsibility of kind of a leadership. So one is the leadership trust at a very young age, the quality and purpose of life. I think these two made a big impact in what I have become today.
Nice.
The third aspect is smaller towns gives you very different set of values, particularly middle class values. In a smaller town, you become very different. So middle class values, I still, whatever the way we are today, I would always say that we should live a very, very frugal life and very, very middle class life. This is what we should live. However big we are, however wealthier one is. This is my strong belief, which I learned from my parents, from my family, from the extended family, which is my hometown.
Yeah.
So that's the most important one.
So stay humble. Yeah.
All the time.
Okay, that's interesting. So tell us, what made you move to real estate? What inspired you to get into real estate? As well, how's the journey been when you took over Shriram Properties in 1997?
It was a sheer coincidence. I wanted to be a teacher. In fact, when I was in college, I used to teach my junior students in the classroom. I wanted to follow my entire family history of being a teacher. But destiny showed different way. We have one family friend he's no more with us now. We had one family friend called Mr. R.V. Subramanian. He was an IPS officer, upright honesty, and extremely value based. He believes in horoscope. One day he called us and said, I have checked Murali's horoscope and he is destined to be in business. He cannot be a teacher. He'll be very successful as a businessman, not as a teacher. I did not know even understand the meaning of business. But for us, his word is final. He said, just come to Chennai. So that's where I came to Chennai in 1989 and started taking up small projects, some small little construction contracts and some 4 apartments, 6 apartments. This is where I started the journey. Until I found Larsen & Toubro, Mr. K.V. Rangaswamy and D. Ramakrishna. They were the vice president and president. So L&T was just setting up a real estate business at that point of time in 93, 94. And they felt somebody who has been small, very, very small scale, but bringing some kind of entrepreneurial experience along with a professional approach can make a difference is what they felt. So I was in L&T. I was also responsible for setting up the Cyberabad or Cyber City today. At that time, I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Tyagarajan in 97. So this thought came up. Mr. Tyagarajan offered me CEO position. And in L&T, it will take long time. It will take at least 25-30 years time to get into this kind of a senior position, senior leadership role. Though you could be playing a very important role, but senior leadership role. L&T was a very large organization, kind of quasi-government kind of a style.
Yeah.
Today things are different, but those days. Myself and the current chairman, S.M. Subramanian, used to work together. So I used to look after real estate, he used to look after buildings and factories. So we had a very, very close relationship between each other. Then at that time, this offer was very tempting. So I took up this position of CEO and started Shriram Properties.
And how's the journey been from 1997?
The initial journey was very turbulent. The moment we started business, there were challenges at the time. Asian financial crisis hit, NBFC crisis hit, Shriram Group. So Shriram Group, though thought we'll start with lots of projects, they had about 6 land parcels at that point of time. So we got 6 projects to start with, but ended up having 0 project because NBFC crisis, we have to sell all the assets. So we are forced to sell all the assets and we could not sell one asset which was in Bangalore. So there was a liability, there is no asset value. So then me and Mr. Tyagarajan discussed and then we decided maybe we are destined to be in real estate business. Then I moved to Bangalore. I moved to Bangalore in the later part of 98, started with this project called Shriram White House. That's in Aarti Nagar. That's where our first project started. The rest is history.
So tell me, I have seen your interviews in past. You have always quoted that your father and Mr. Tyagarajan has played a pivotal role in your life, right? So I want to understand what key lessons have molded you or guided you for whenever you take your current decisions as well from them.
Very important one. Both my parents taught me values. In fact, my mother, she was a simple teacher all the time. She was my teacher in middle school. There's a primary school, then middle school, then high school, then higher secondary school. That's how the division in Tamil Nadu. Middle school is up to 8th standard. She was a middle school teacher. Sometime in 2004, 5 and all that, she used to call me very regularly. Do you have enough money for your, livelihood? I was employing 500 people, but she used to ask every first of every month, do you have any bank balance? Do you have enough money for paying a rental? Do you have enough money for taking care of children? Should I send you money? One day I told her, this is my bank balance, this is what is available. So you don't need to worry about this part. Then she said, why do you need so much money? We need only 20 lakhs for you. You have 2 sons. We have a house in our hometown that, ultimately will come to you after us. So you don't need anything beyond that. 20 lakhs is good enough to educate both your children and give them whatever the stable life required. Would you keep beyond 20 lakhs? Can you not give back to the society? So this is her. My father always believed you should never borrow money. He has taken a promise that I should never borrow money. And also, whatever you make, he strongly believes that what you can eat half of it, balance you give it back to the society. And we cannot carry anything back. How we can live a purposeful life? So this is the biggest learning. The another most important one, I always feel lucky to be born with sisters. Somebody, this is my firm belief, somebody who is born with sisters, they get very different values in their life is my view. I don't know whether current day it's still applicable, but that gives you a lot of responsibility. Gives you a lot of, particularly middle class, born with sisters, got to get them married. It's a big responsibility.
True.
So that makes you very different in terms of ethical behavior. See, you don't need to go to a B school to understand governance, compliance, ethical behavior, honesty, transparency. You were brought up in a particular way. This all get inside your DNA, 100%.
Yeah.
You don't need to learn to practice. What is there in DNA, it reflects what you are. In fact, I play golf nowadays, and my golf trainer used to say, sir, you play more and more golf, your cell system, it gets registered, your strokes. So you play more and more, you'll get a good game. So essentially he was telling me that more and more you practice, it gets registered, memory gets registered. So if you grew up in a family with so much hardcore great values, it becomes part of your DNA.
True.
You can do anything, you cannot do anything different.
Yeah.
So Tyagarajan is a firm believer of doing business with a purpose. He strongly believes country can be uplifted by developing entrepreneurship. Poverty can be eliminated by developing entrepreneurship. By establishing more and more businesses and doing the business in the most appropriate way, can create lots of employments. By providing employment, more and more employment, we can contribute in eliminating poverty. This is a very strong belief.
Yeah.
And his another belief is that he's a socialist. He doesn't believe in owning anything for himself. Whatever we create should go back to the community. Always he chooses a business where there is a connect to the society. He doesn't believe in doing a business where there is no connect to the society. So I think I'm lucky to have both.
Yeah.
So that became my style of business or order of doing business.
And the lessons you learned from Mr. Tyagarajan?
As I said, whatever the business we do, we need to look at how we can connect to the society. My current mission is currently we employ close to about 800 people in Shriram properties. Directly, indirectly, we contribute close to about 7,000-8,000 people employment. The most important one, the construction laborers, close to about 10,000 people working across all our project sites and various locations. The construction workers are most critical for the society, particularly the way the landscape is evolving today in India. If the construction workers are not employed, there is a very high probability that they can slip into drugs, they can slip into all bad habits, or they could join a good political party and end their life drinking, boozing, and going behind those things can be very dangerous. Because in India still today, there is no formal training for them. Even today on the construction employees, most of them are untrained. And most of them, because untrained, they are unlikely to get placed in any other place, employment. So the alternate possibility is go to some place where there are vested interests, keep feeding you with liquor and money and keep doing their service. And also the way cost system is deepening further and further, society can be divided. It is not good for the country. Hence, construction workers, more and more they get employed, more and more they are disciplined, more and more they have children, and the woman in that family takes control. Society becomes much better and better. There is no dearth for them to earn money today. Good plumber, good contractor, good mason, good electrician can make as high as 30,000-40,000 rupees a month easily.
Yeah.
But are they living a good standard of life today? The answer is no. My mission is now, can I be an instrument to make it to million employment in the next 5 to 7 years time? Can it become 2 million in the next 10 years time? Can we be an instrument in providing employment to the much needy community today? Is one. Apart from that, we have taken up a mission now, how to go and educate them on inculcating the habit of not drinking, treating their women with respect, treating their children with respect, making sure that their children are educated to some level.
Yes.
And another most important one, saving. How to educate them to save. If somebody is earning 30,000-40,000 rupees, if he is trained to save at least 50% of the money, he can live a good quality of life. So that's the mission I have taken up now in the next 10 years time. How many more number of people we can create an impact, which essentially will make them a better human being, certainly will stop them slipping into something which is not desirable.
True. But it's a great initiative that you have taken. But what made you take this initiative that you want to create this as your mission to achieve?
At the end of the day, it is a responsibility. It's not one side. Our government has done a fantastic job in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Every initiative, every regulation, they have been very, very conscious how it can reach the bottommost people, whether it is building toilets or in sanitary pipelines or water, electricity, gas. I mean, government has been extremely focused on making sure the smallest or the poorest or the weakest, their issues are getting addressed. While doing this, they also work towards creating a good environment for doing a business. So government has done phenomenal work in the last 10 years. And Mr. Narendra Modi, he has set an example how one has to live. At the end of the day, is there anything for him, whatever he is doing? Always looked at what is it he can do to the nation. Mahatma Gandhi always looked at what is it he can do to the nation. My own Paramacharya, Kanchi Shankaracharya, I'm a firm believer, and he is like a Shiva to me. He lived in his physical form. Shiva lived in his physical form through him. All these people in their physical presence, what is it they've done? And my father, my own father.
Yeah.
What is it they've done? How we can uplift the society? What are they? I don't think I can change entire construction workers' life in this country. It's not possible. I can only touch maybe 1 million to 2 million to 3 million.
Yeah.
That's a possibility for me. As a human being in my lifetime, that's a possibility. But I think it is our responsibility. At the end of the day, my mother asked, what are you going to do beyond 20 lakhs? I don't think, maybe when she asked, she had a limitation on 20 lakhs. Maybe 1 crore may be needed. I don't think we need so much money for living a decent life. It is our responsibility to give back to the community, just not giving donations.
Yeah.
That many people can do.
True.
But can you change their behavior? Can you contribute to their improvement of standard of living? Can you contribute to their quality of living improvement? Not quantity of living improvement. If standard of living and quality of living, if you are able to contribute and if you can train them to live that life consistently for at least 10 years, then they know how to make quantity.
Yeah.
So this is my mission. So I hope I will succeed in this mission.
And it's very rare to see a successful real estate developer like you talking about this mission. And it interests me to ask you another question regarding, I understand the colleague of your father who chose through real estate to be your career, but that was chosen for you. But how did you create passion for real estate? Because the way you're talking about construction workers, you could have chosen some other sector also where easily could have done donation or whatsoever. But what is that passion for real estate that still moves you for real estate? First is that. And second, I want to know, based on your personal definition, how would you define success as a leader?
This is the only industry can touch the lives of people across, bottommost to the topmost. The highest, in any profession, they need a home.
Right.
They need to live in a house. The lowest, somebody can never be employed anywhere.
Yeah.
He's also in this. If you connect this dot between these two, the entire life cycle or chain to serve the entire community, entire society. You build a home, you employ somebody who can never be employed by anybody else. Let's say construction worker will not get employed in pharmaceutical, will not get employed in IT industry, will not get employed because he is not trained for that.
Right.
And also less educated. Slowly, education should come, training should come. A lot of things our government has set up, a lot of institutions to develop their skill development. So it's all happening, but it's another 20-30 years. So India becoming a fully skill developed construction workers at least 20-30 years away.
Yeah.
So that is one side. Whom are they building? They're building home for the needy. They're building home for some first-time home buyer. All in the entire chain, they're also building home for the highest. So this is the only industry. Also, this one industry is Atmanirbhar. Everything made by Indians for Indians. So maybe some materials, some people may be importing. But if you look at Indians make for Indians. So complete Atmanirbhar. This is the most critical one, is my view. I am fortunate to be in this business so that we can directly, indirectly, we can take the blessings of so many millions of people. When somebody earns money for which you are an instrument, there is a blessing comes to you. Somebody lives in a house and you have given a good home for them, there is a blessing come to you. At the end of the day, we believe in karma theory. So whatever good karma you do it in this Janma, I don't know next Janma, but at least this Janma will take care of you very well, and it's a responsibility for everyone to do this.
Right.
Again, the inspiration is our Kanchi Brahmacharya. He lived the life. When you go and meet him, you will not know somebody was sitting there. Never anything for him except two clothes, nothing else. He's living he's living God today. Even after he left his physical body after even 30 years. That's the life one has to live. Again, very famous. I'm a big fan of Apple product, Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
In his deathbed, he had the disposal of billions of dollars. Could not extend one day's life.
True.
That money could not extend one day's life. Nothing wrong with Steve Jobs. He's a great entrepreneur, great thinker. If at all. On the other side, my inspiration is Steve Jobs. But money could not save. So it is better to invest on good karma as much as possible. Also, when we all go, we cannot carry 100 rupee.
Yeah.
So it is a responsibility for everyone. Whatever the little way. I'm not saying everyone should do back to whatever little way they can do back to society, they need to do back. And it's not giving money. Some people can give money, but can we change their lifestyle? Can we contribute, or can we train them to have a better quality of living, better standard of living? Then it's a very different change you bring it with.
True. So based on your personal definition, how would you define success as a leader then?
Very interesting one. There is a very famous musician called Shriram from Chennai. He's one of the greatest violinists. One day we were all in Tirupati, and after darshan we were discussing, sitting in the room. After darshan we came and we were having prasad and all that. Then we were discussing in the room. And then this thought process came up. Sachin was at his peak in cricketing career. He also likes cricket. I also like cricket. So everyone, who doesn't like cricket in India? Everyone likes cricket. So casual conversation. So I asked him, sir, what is the definition for success? He gave a very interesting answer. I don't remember the year. Alvi Jayaraman sir said, success, according to his definition, something what you know. Can you practice this time and again, with the same perfection, with a better improvement, and most importantly, without any defect? If you can do that, that is what is success. Then he quoted the example of Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin Tendulkar, even after winning a match for India or after scoring a century, Next day he gets back to the nets, and I believe he had the habit of picking a bowlers who had not bowled the routine way, or new bowlers, so that he wanted to register in his memory cell any kind of bowling or new bowler. He can handle it comfortably or at ease. Even after hitting a century or even after winning the match for India, he gets back to nets or practicing time and again. According to me, success is nothing but practicing what you know time and again, time and again, time and again, without any defect, with utmost perfection, with a little improvement. If you can do it in your career, you don't need to worry about it. Real estate. When we started, there was a big competition here in Bangalore when we started projects. It was difficult to make an inroad in Bangalore. Big brands were there. Very big brands were there in Bangalore. And we are not at all a brand to reckon with. First time ever created. We looked at, we need to be a differentiator. We decided we will do this business with the utmost ethical way, and governance and compliance will be the paramount of conducting ourselves in this business. Honesty and transparency. These are all the characters with which we should conduct this business forever. We should not slip on. Now, real estate business. Last 20 years we've been practicing without even making 1% compromise on all these characters, all these values. Can somebody do this 25 years? Or can we continue to do this? See, it's easy to practice certain good values when you are small.
Right.
Can you continue to practice when you become bigger and bigger and bigger? Like Laguji himself said, he's one of the greatest violinists ever lived. But he practiced throughout his life, even after became very big in the particular field where he was in.
Yeah.
Sachin Tendulkar, he is considered god of cricket, not because he scored 100 centuries. Certainly not because he scored 100 centuries. Certainly not because his cricketing shots were one of the best. He practiced what he knew time and again with perfection. Because of that, he is called the god of cricket, not because of centuries. If you can practice this business with utmost ethical way, most honest and transparent way, without compromising any of the governance and compliance, I think we'll be very successful is my view. Money is incidental. Profits are incidental. That should not be the measure for success is my view, because at the end of the day, that money is not going to carry your life even one day extra.
True.
The values what you practice. Even today, Steve Jobs is not remembered with the bank balance what he had.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs even today remembered. Or next, few generations will remembered the technological contribution what he has given. How he transformed the entire industry using his intelligence. That's where he'll be remembered, not the wealth he left.
True.
So success is nothing but what Steve Jobs left on the technological transformation, what Lavri sir left on music, what Sachin Tendulkar left, and what Mahatma Gandhi did, what our Prime Minister is doing it now, what my father did. None of them work for money. Money is a byproduct. It will come. If you do all this well, it will come. But we need to realize it is not ours. It doesn't belong to us. We are only trustees. God has chosen us. We don't know why He has chosen me to be in this business. It is His decision. I never wanted to be in the business. It is our responsibility to be a trustee for the larger community. How we can contribute back to the uplift of the society is what is success according to me.
True. And very nicely put. It's quite spiritual as well. Very, I would say, facts of life, because as you quoted everyone's example, it culminates everything very clearly what success truly is. So I will recently talk about
For example,
Yeah.
Gandhiji, when he came back from South Africa, he was in his full suit. Maybe because of the podcast tonight, I should also be in suit. So he was in his full suit, and he was well educated, highly literate, and those days leading a scholar and lawyer.
Yeah.
If at all he continued in his life with only his now full dressed coat suit, whether you will have the same, he would have carried the same respect, I don't know. I'm just thinking through. When he went to Madurai, he left all his clothes.
Yeah.
And he decided to wear only one piece of cloth. He remained the rest of his life. Maybe a person like Mahatma Gandhi himself, I always look for everyone's life. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. There is an opportunity for them to become Mahatma Gandhi. He is remembered as Mahatma Gandhi, not Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi.
Yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
everyone's life, God creates an opportunity or gives a moment for them to become Mahatma from Mohandas Karamchand.
True.
We need to look for such opportunity
And grab those.
and grab. God will not give you every day 100 times.
True.
Might give you once, might give you second time, third time at the most. That's what I think when Narendra Modi ji picked up this opportunity. I think it's a God-sent opportunity, but he picked up. That's where Mahatma is born.
So did you, right?
So everyone has an opportunity. Need not be in politics, need not be in business, need not be in even the smallest guy can get an opportunity to become Mahatma, which is most crucial. I used to ask it, many times in my public forum when I address, I talk about this aspect, how Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi became Mahatma Gandhi. Also, one needs to understand the friends of Mohandas Karamchand can never be friends of Mahatma Gandhi. It's difficult. They'll never be able to relate. Can you transform your life like a butterfly from your early days where you are not even in the pond, you are not able to fly out? There will be a moment you can fly out. You become a butterfly.
Right.
The moment you become butterfly, you should never go back to that pond life. You should be having a very different life altogether. Meaningful life.
True.
To contribute back to society. That's the time one becomes a Mahatma.
So that's
Everyone gets an opportunity.
That's what you're trying to achieve. Have a different perspective.
Whatever the way possible.
Okay.
See, it's very high benchmark what my father has set for me. Very high benchmark Mr. Tyagarajan has set. Very high benchmark Lalgudi sir, Lalgudi Raman sir, or even Sachin Tendulkar, or Mahatma Gandhi, or Narendra Modi ji, or our Kanchi Paramacharya. I don't think I'll be able to achieve even small percent of what they have done. But definitely, I want to put all my efforts, strive towards, walking in that path.
And I'm sure you will, because you have too much clarity on this. So let's coming to the Shriram properties. They recently celebrated 25 years of operations, right? Where a new brand identity has been launched. SPL Next initiative has been launched. So what is the whole idea behind this kind of transformation? What were you planning to achieve out of this?
Real estate industry has gone through serious change in the last 10 years. Real estate is contributing close to 8% of GDP. Again, I go to the cricket parallel. It is not one man. He can dream. He can put things down.
True.
But everyone has to support. Then only India can become a developed nation. He set a target of 5 trillion economy. Now setting a target of 10 trillion. Then 2047, becoming Viksit Bharat. Fortunately, next 25 years, I can contribute some small little way in India become Viksit Bharat. I think it is a responsibility. Everyone has to contribute. Real estate is contributing close to 8% of GDP today, and ecosystem is too good now. Platform is good. Hence, there is a possibility this 8% can become 12, 13, 14, 15% in the next 5 to 8 years time. What is it I can do to make sure that we are able to contribute a little beyond what we can do, so that 2047, when India reaches 100th year of independence, becomes Viksit Bharat. It is not one man can do, everyone has to support. He can only set a vision, he can create a platform, but all good, capable, honest people like us have the responsibility to support this mission, to become Viksit Bharat. I think it is everyone's responsibility. One should not. In fact, if God has given you certain capability, certain strengths, and also showing you a way, if you are not doing it, I think you will get sins, is my view. So you should not. If you do that way, you will get good karma. Hence, it is a responsibility to this way.
So why new identity? What are you planning to achieve through this new identity?
Indian right age for marriage for women. The practice is today, women are likely to or prefer to get married at the age of 25.
Yes.
By the time they finish their good education, start their career and all that, So they think that 25 is the right age. So we also believe now 25 years journey is done now. Maybe we should bring something new. Several reasons. In our early stage when we started building apartments or complexes, I used to tell our people, even today I keep saying that very regularly. The engineers who build, L&T, when I was in L&T, there is a very famous advertisement, even today it's relevant today. When at that time, Lintas is the advertising agency, we engaged for L&T, looked at what is the brand campaign we should do. So final advertisement material was father and son will be standing there. The two boys will be standing there. One fellow will say, this building was built by father. He is 20-year-old, 30-year-old. Like that. I used to tell our people, when you finish the project, when those customers are living there, imagine your own sisters, your own parents, or your own in-laws walking around the community. What do you want them to listen? Keep that in mind while building a home.
Yeah.
That's the most important one. Nobody wants to be looked down in front of their own eyes. They immediately, their own kith and kin, their own parents, their own siblings. Rest people might take a chance, but nobody wants to be looked down by his own siblings or parents or in-laws. So keep that in mind and build homes in such a way that after building is completed, when those customers are living in the houses where you have built, what is it your relatives want to listen? Now, those customers have become much more, their family is grown, they've got second generation, third generation today. Because of this attitude, we used to get the highest level of reference from our existing customers. Even today, our existing customers' reference through which we get new bookings is one of the highest in the industry. It is because of the loyalty. It is because of the goodwill. It is because of the oneness what we bring into the family ambience. We just don't build a house. We build a community. We want to make sure that they live happily. So that gives us very big referral sales to us. Today, the referrals today, they got second generation, third generation. We need to design the home to meet the change in need of the second generation, third generation, which means kind of a new design, also new brand identity. If you bring in, you will be able to connect not only to the grandparent, you will be able to connect to the parent, you will be able to connect to the children, you will be able to connect to the next generation also. Hence, we thought this is a time for us to bring in the new change, which has been very well received and accepted by all of our stakeholders. We're very happy the way we brought in the change.
So tell our viewers, with SPL Next initiative, what new innovation or new amenities, like what new preferences are you building for this new target demographic that you have explained about? What is this initiative all about?
SPL Next is nothing but capitalizing the opportunity what is ahead of us today. How well you prepare the organization to take this new opportunity. Again, I firmly believe everything happens for a cause. Everything happens in a particular time.
Right.
If somebody 10 years older to me may not get the opportunity, may not have got the opportunity what I just because he was born 10 years ahead. He may be more intelligent than me. He may be more knowledgeable than me. But the platform was not there. 10 years down the line, somebody else might be having better opportunity than me to contribute back to the community. Today, government has created a fantastic platform for people like us to contribute and to scale up. But for that platform, it's not possible. I always measure our efficiency based on, can you do 10% better than the opportunity availability? There are few people can create an opportunity. There are many people can only do more efficient than what the opportunity is available. Or they can be better efficient. Many miss the opportunity. There are three categories. There are few, create new opportunities for themselves. There are many misses this. There are quite a few are more efficient. We should be more efficient. How we can capitalize the opportunity for next 3 years time or 5 years time to scale up. That's where SPL Next. We're bringing a lot of technology intervention in managing the customers, in servicing the customers, in also meeting their needs. So technology is one area. I'm a big fan of, as I said, Steve Jobs. Technology is one area, can be a biggest disruptor in this industry. Particularly real estate is the last in adopting the technology across various industries. Whether can we take a lead in using technology or bringing new technological disruption to scale up. That's where our focus. So we started a few activities now. You will hear as we move on technological innovation or technological interference with which we scale up across various segments.
So you have also recently announced that you'll be expanding into 10 key cities of India. Which are the cities in your radar?
No, we did not say 10 cities will expand. 10 cities matters in real estate in India.
Yeah.
That's where the major growth is taking place today. 80% of the real estate or demand is happening in these 10 cities. It is Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad in south, and Pune, Bombay in west, and Ahmedabad in west, Calcutta in east, and NCR, Noida, Gurgaon, and Delhi. These 10 cities cater 80% of the demand today. So 10 cities are very relevant for business houses like us. Our focus will continue to be in Bangalore, Chennai, Pune, and Calcutta. We have large project, and later part we can look at entering into Mumbai. So this is where our focus will be for the next 3 years' time.
Okay. So the recent joint development we have done is Untold. I want to understand what excited you to enter this particular market and what other plans you have in and around if you're planning to explore Pune market.
Pune offers something similar opportunity of Bangalore. It's a middle class buyers or middle class and upper middle class home buyers. Numbers are large. Growth is really good. Maharashtra is growing really good in Maharashtra, Bombay and Pune. These two cities are doing very well. Pune offers very similar value systems, client profile of Bangalore and Chennai. And Bangalore, Chennai, we are established very well. We understood the consumer behavior. So we thought Pune is an extension. It's a natural extension of Bangalore. Hence we thought we should get into Pune. The experience has been pretty good. We are looking at Pune to contribute a big percentage in our portfolio in the next 3 to 5 years' time.
So coming to customer preference, post-pandemic, there have been a lot of reports coming in where they have quoted, demand of ultra high premium apartments are now more in demand compared to any affordable or mid-size apartments. According to you, where do you feel the customer preference have changed, and do you actually believe the ultra high premium apartments are more in demand as compared to the mid-size or affordable market?
With respect to demand, in India there is always a demand for, if you look at the pyramid, the economic section, there is a constant demand and there will be constant demand for the next 30-40 years time. Not many people are addressing that. The next category is affordable housing.
Yes.
There has been a constant demand. Next 20 years I don't see demand coming down. The next in the layer, mid-market and mid-premium segment. That's where our focus is now. If there is a constant demand, next 10-15 years I don't see demand. If you look at that ultra premium or ultra luxury segment, 1% market, there seems to be very good demand today, and that demand according to me will continue for at least next 2-3 years time. But that's cyclical. So we need to be conscious about it. The ultra premium segment is, whereas economic perception is constant, but margins are available. Affordable housing, there is a big demand for next 20 years time. Margins are very, very small. Mid-market and mid-premium segment, next 10-15 years demand is going to be very, very good. Demand is too good now. Demand will continue to be good. Margins are also reasonable, and it can withhold the cyclical pressure. Here, if there is a cyclical challenge, still there will be demand. In ultra luxury segment, if there is a downward cycle, everything will stop. We have seen this. This is not the first time. India has witnessed in the last about 20 years at least 3 times. So that is the first one get impacted. That will get impacted quite a lot. Our focus will continue to be mid-market and mid-premium segment. That's where we believe there is a strong demand. Will continue, is there now, also will continue for much longer period, 10-15 years. A lot of first-time homebuys. India is going through big urbanization. McKinsey report way back in early 2000, they said in 2030, 58% of Indian population will be in urban cities. So already now, much before 2030 now, 58% I'm sure urban cities people are living today. The first-time home buyers or somebody who has come into a city, lived for about 10-15 years today. Both husband and wife are earning. They want to have a good quality life. They are our targets. That number is huge. That number will continue to be bigger and bigger. The current demand itself vis-a-vis supply, it's at least 10 years supply will take care of the today's demand. Current demand, which is unmet demand, the current supply. Next 10 years of supply will not meet this demand. And every year there is a growing supply today. So I don't think this really mid-market and mid-premium segment, there will ever be a problem on the demand side. Our focus will continue to be on this. Two things. One is demand. The other is, as I said earlier, the purposeful way of doing business. If you want to do only for profits, you do certain things. If you need to do only as, CSR, you get into the lowest. You want to create a meaningful impact to the community, the first time home buyer gets a good deal. The first aspirational home buyer. See, first time home buyer is different from first aspirational home buyer. So first time aspirational home buyer is very different. Then first as a family home buyer, those people's aspirations are different. I think these three are our primary focus. These three focus will continue to be there, and the demand will continue to be there in the next 15 years.
So how do you define affordable housing? Why I asked this question, in a Mumbai real estate market, affordable housing is considered like between 1 or 2 CR, right?
So across the country, other than Bombay and the rest all the cities, it's about 40 to 50 lakhs is the affordable. Government of India has declared. So Bombay they declared similar, something a different number. Mid-market and mid-premium. According to me, they were the markets we operate. Roughly about 60 lakhs to 1.5 crores is the mid-market and mid-premium segment. That will continue to be our focus for at least next 3 years.
And will it be the same focus when you enter Bombay market?
No,
because
Bombay
it's
will be
completely
different. Bombay will be different. Let's see, when we cross the bridge, we'll think about it. Currently, Bangalore, Chennai and Pune, this will be almost similar.
So recently you have said that India will need 78 million new homes in the next 10 years, right? So how is Shriram Properties positioned to meet this particular growing demand?
We cannot cut it to 78 million.
Of course.
Currently, I think our market share in the country must be around 2.5%. I don't have the statistics with me. We deliver about 34,000 homes. We sell about 5,000 homes. So in the next 10 years, maybe we could contribute about 200,000 homes. Is a possibility. But it just not the number. The quality matters.
Yes.
The target matters. Who are you serving matters. How it is going to create an impact in their life is most important. It's not the numbers. You choose to serve only 10 people. Those 10 people, quality of life, standards of life, have a created impact. That's the most important one. Of course, we are also large in numbers, but we don't want to only focus on numbers. We want to stay focused on the aspirational home buyers, family living. Is one, some time back, I'm a strong advocate for COVID. COVID should come every 5 years or 6 years is my view. But only my prayer is it should come and threaten people, create a fear in the minds of people and go away. That's my prayer to God. COVID is the biggest leveler. 2018, somebody came and presented in Bangalore the demand for living relationship, the growth. He came and presented, he's in co-living business. He came and presented the demand for co-living units has increased significantly higher. He has currently the demand for close to about 12,000 units. It's not co-living, living relationship. And he is not able to meet this demand. I felt very sad that day. That 1 week I could not sleep. Where is the country going? The country is going in a very different time in 2018. On the other hand, the first-time home buyers were shrinking. And people were not willing to. My sales team came back and used to, in a review meeting, they came and said, people are looking at not buying a home. They want the experience for next 10 years. Can we do a rental housing? What my sales team came and said. On the other hand, this guy came and presented this report. If you connect the dot, so people are moving away from their core values. And he said, Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad, the demand is very high for the living relationship. India is not that. It is very different. Our roots are different. Our family values are different. Fortunately, COVID has pulled back all these people to their hometowns. You look at Bangalore, 80% of them are non-Bangaloreans or 90% of them are non-Bangaloreans who are in that IT sector. Likewise, every major city. Numbers may differ, but majority is from tier 2 or tier 3 town. COVID pushed them back to their hometowns and they were forced to stay anywhere between 1 year to 3 years time. It is not in their hometown. They were forced to stay with the family. They were forced to stay with their parents. They were forced to stay with their in-laws. They were forced to stay with their siblings. They started realizing once again the core fundamental values of our Indian culture. But for COVID, they would have probably stepped. So that brought in is the biggest leveler. Apart from that, they did not know how to spend money in their hometowns. While they continue to earn, or some people did moonlighting and they started earning more also.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, they did not know how to spend in their hometown. There's a limited way only you can spend. You cannot flash around. They went back to savings. Otherwise, savings was deteriorating. 2018, 17, savings mentality was coming down. India is a saving economy. Our DNA is saving. And women are the most empowered people in our family, in our country. That was shifting. So COVID brought in saving mentality. They saved a good amount of money in 2020 and 2022. When they again started coming back to their cities where they were employed, they already had a good amount of income, good amount of saving, and also they had family values brought back to them.
Right.
So I will thank 100 times COVID for bringing back those. I feel sorry for a lot of people who have lost their lives, lost their loved ones. COVID should not have done that, but it brought back the values. So Indians went back to their values. If you look at today, I can say with a lot of pride, I'm sure the same guy, I need to come and ask him what is the demand today. I wish, I pray God, that he comes and says demand is zero. So I'll be happy to hear that. I don't know the truth. But our value systems. See, India is a karma. Know that land can take this as a pride. How we can protect these value systems? How we can preserve these values? How we can put a woman ahead of us? How we can put our family ahead? That's the most important one. Value system is the most important. Hence, I pray whenever our people start sleeping, leveler is required.
In current scenario right now, there's so many content creators, influencers who are debating, and there's a constant debate going on that buying is a waste of money rather than renting is more, appropriate, even to influence the youngsters of this generation. What is your take to this?
You cannot take out from normal Indians owning home. So again, today in India or in the last several centuries, the major decisions are taken by women. Generally, women are comfortable with the two investments. One is home, other is gold. So, home is where their heart lies. Hence, they will keep on investing more and more in homes is mainly. This is a new trend, city, urban. It's not a tier 2, tier 3 town mindset. It's a urban mindset. So, don't own a house, do a lot of calculation and all that. I have a very different view. We did some surveys some time back, about 9 years ago. We did a survey. Somebody who has a shelter on their head, somebody who doesn't have a shelter on their head, put both of them in an organization. The productivity level will be far superior from someone who has a shelter on it compared to somebody who doesn't have. It is part of the DNA. Productivity, responsibility will go up. Family bondage will go up. So, hence, home ownership will continue to be in a big scale. Of course, rental housing also will come up, but it's a distant dream is made, at least 10 years away. Because our mortgage rates are about 7-8% today. Lowest is 6.5%. Your yield on a home or investment is not even 3%. See, people, look at Western countries and they think that is their life. It is not. There are great things in Western countries which we should also adopt and we should accept and learn. Doesn't mean 100%, all the 100% acceptable or suitable to us. We need to take what is suitable to us. From every culture, every region, every community, we should pick up what is the best available without losing our best. That's the most important one. It should not come at the cost of losing our best. If something we do not have the best, we should lose. Something we have the best, I think we should keep it. One such example is, in Western countries, rental housing is quite common. Where your mortgage rate is available at 2%, 3% max today. Average was about 1-1.5%. Your yield was 4%. So any prudent, professional will do that. You have 1.5% money, gives you 4% return, 2% is arbitrage. After tax, 1.5%. Makes a lot of sense. India exactly the opposite. Your mortgage rate is 7-8%, your yield is 3-4%. So why should somebody look at borrowing at 8%, investing at 4% or 3%? That's a stupidity. Owning a home is very different. It is not yield. Living with family You cannot put a value to it.
Yeah.
You can put any money to it. It's likewise owning a home. Again, we all believe how I recall the memories of my hometown where we live. I can relate to every neighbor there. I can relate to most of the people in my hometown. Even today. That's typical Indian value system. We should not compromise on that. So if you have a home, living with your children, living with your parents, living with your in-laws, living with your family members for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, that is going to be everlasting memory. At the end of the day, that's the memory we should carry when we go back.
True. Quickly, I'll do a rapid fire, which is quite famous in our Let's Talk Business series. You don't have to take much of time. I'll ask questions quickly, give the thought that comes to that question I ask you, right? So your first question would be, your favorite city for real estate development?
Bangalore.
One word to describe Shriram Properties in 25 years.
Value-based.
Okay. A book or leader who inspires you?
Mahatma Gandhi.
A project you're most proud of?
All the projects.
But if you have to name one.
It's difficult. All the projects done by Shriram.
One business mantra that has been said by so many people that is quite overrated.
Customer is king.
Okay. So you believe it's overrated?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay. And what is your life mantra that keeps you going?
Be humble all the time. My mother used to say. She's a singer. She sings. Which means whatever the level you are in, you should not leave your dharma.
Right.
That's the most important. At any stage in life, you should not leave your dharma. That's the most critical.
Nice. And if you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be and why? I know you will say Mahatma, but if you had to name someone else. And why?
He has got up his life, always thought about how we can work towards uplifting the society and setting a target of Viksit Bharat. Gave up his family, gave up his life, all the cause of the society. So, I did not choose Mahatma Gandhi. I'm a very practical guy. It is possible. I wish it becomes possible. So I want to make it what is possible.
Okay.
Given a choice, I would like to have meal with my parents.
If you had a superpower to solve one industry problem instantly, what would it be?
Housing.
Housing. Okay. What is the funniest or most memorable moment from your early days at Shriram Properties?
In Shriram Properties, we always had the family living. Entire organization, last 25 years, I've been like one family. I always saw everyone as a sister or brother or a parent or a children. So every moment is cherishable.
Nice. So if you could swap roles with any celebrity for a day, who would you be and why?
I cannot ask this. I wanted to be a cricketer. I never became a cricketer to play for the country.
Okay.
If at all there is something which is possible, it is Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Nice. What's the one piece of advice that you would give your 25-year-old self?
Continue to be the same. How I came as a very innocent boy to Chennai in 1989. When I started the business, how innocent I was. Can you continue to have the same level of innocence? Innocence is a gift.
Yeah.
Only child gets that. And they remain happy forever. And you cannot make a child unhappy. You can make them unhappy for a few minutes. You cannot keep a child unhappy for even few hours.
Yeah.
Can you be then straight? Despite whatever you are, whoever you are. That's a gift one should be blessed with this life.
Right. And what's your go-to stress buster after a tough day of work?
I never get stressed.
Never.
Never get stressed.
So it's not a rapid fire question. I just want to take one last insight from you. And I'm sure our viewers would love to know, what is the legacy do you hope to leave behind, both as a leader, personally as well for Shriram Properties?
Shriram Properties family members, all the time, since beginning, we all work as one single family. With one single purpose, one single identity. I always believe I should play a father role, irrespective of the other colleagues' age. I've been very, very successful. Somebody who has been 20 years older to me, I played a father role. Somebody who has been 30 years older to me, I played a father role. Even today, some of them feel I played a father role in their life. I think it's a responsibility. Being a father, it's a big responsibility. Again, my mother inculcated this habit of being a father to my own elder sisters, my own younger sister. That's a little easier. Becoming a father to elder sister is difficult. So to that big gap, I think it is a responsibility to continue to hold these values and make sure that this work as one HUF, Hindu undivided family. That's the most critical. With respect to the society, I don't think I have contributed or I'll never be able to contribute the way my father has contributed to society or the leaders whom I have quoted. Whether it is Mr. Tyagarajan or Mahatma Gandhi or Narendra Modi, the contribution what they made. But certainly I am convinced I will be able to contribute a small percentage. I would like to leave a mark in creating the landscape of this industry, particularly touching the lives of at least 2 million construction workers. How we can be an instrument in changing their standards of living, in changing their quality of living. That's the most important. On the other hand, the marketing gimmick is customer is king. Customer is not king. Customer is part of your family. Treat and deliver whatever best you can deliver to your own siblings, your own parents, your own in-laws. And if you can deliver that, they're not king. They are part of your family. They are part of your extended family. If you bring in that attitude, then the world is yours.
So, Mr. Murali, it's been quite interesting and inspiring conversation. And before we wrap up, I want you to give one advice to our aspiring home buyers who would be watching this, or even the real estate entrepreneurs. What one key takeaway they should take from this particular podcast?
Opportunity is huge. Next 10 years, the opportunity was created by somebody else. Again, this world gives, as Mahatma Gandhi said, what is more than what is needed, the world has given. You can consume only so much. You cannot consume everything. The world has given everything what is more than needed for us. Opportunity is given, created by lots of factors, lots of people. Capabilities available to us. Again, it's gifted by God. Not everyone is gifted with this capability. Hence, we should take this utmost responsibility in making sure that how we can serve the society, our customers, and all the stakeholders. The utmost transparency, honesty, and governance is what one has to practice. This is what we continue to do. This is what I would strongly advise everyone to do.
Thank you so much once again for coming to Let's Talk Business series. It was lovely to have you and listen to your story and inspiring insights, and as well some spiritual quotes that you have given. And I'm sure our listeners will find immense treasures in your words. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Wish you all the very best for continuing your journey in shaping this industry to the next decade in appropriate way. Thank you.